What's up, guys? Morning YouTube. How we doing? What's up, red pillars? Beautiful this morning. Beautiful long this morning. ICT session Judas. And now we're setting up for a new AM session reversal. Alright. For my red pillars. So we got context surprise to run out the lows. For me, I'm looking at the London lows for a New York trade today. So yesterday we had an intermediate term high right up on this high, right? Zoop. That was our short. As I mentioned yesterday, the reason why I have my stop just above the if is because sometimes price will come back and literally wick the if by a couple of pintos. So where I have an interest at the moment is up in here. All right, a slightly wider stop because it's going to be the open. It's back up at 38% on the hourly, which is essentially going to be one of my models variations on the hourly to trade it short again. All right, which is going to be up around 21%. On the daily. So up here is where I want to be. Just allow the open to manipulate to then move back into the lows. I don't want to get in early because we're inside of an ICT session Judas. Technically we're where we can reject. I think this is an old 15 to 1 over here from memory. And we're currently messing around with it. Oh no, okay, it's the 3 OBs. It can come off now. So can that. Okay. So, guys, if you are in Discord and you're chatting away in Discord, if you can bring it to YouTube, that'd be helpful. Because I can't read multiple chats. GM. Alright, if you just dump it in there, alright? So, ICT session Judas this morning, DST on the low, beautiful for us inside Red Pool. So my trade this morning was pretty bog standard, if I'm honest with you. This little base hit, yeet. Where are we? This was my trade this morning. So little 30-point scalper. So enough right down off this low, just trading it long up to ES, getting into its H1 to M5 at that point in time, which was in right here. So I basically traded that. So where we are at the moment, we've got to be mindful that, and this is why I didn't take this short. Okay, so for those inside Red Pill, this is a MAC TS short entry. The reason why I personally didn't take it is because this is another one of my models, discretionary variation on the 5-minute. Okay, so this is where you're looking at your sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve, right? Wait, sell side of the curve. SMR, buy side of the curve, right? We for continuation, this becomes a doll. Okay, this low becomes a doll. I know for a fact that price is going to revisit this low. So all it is a case of is waiting to define your entry to get down to this low, and then ultimately hold runners to get down into this low. These are my two objectives, right here and right here. That's what I'm seeking for a New York AM session reversal. I've got context for both of these. So all it is a case of, okay, well now how can I find an entry with that? So I know that we have an intermediate term high up on this high. So price doesn't necessarily need to move into take out this high because it's an intermediate term high, right? I filled this if, short term high, if. You don't mind it going back into the city. That was my short yesterday, right? So my short right here yesterday, 22.964, right in up the high, almost a 6-hour trade, right? Right in on this high. So it doesn't have to break out this high. So what I might look to do, and this is me playing with risk capital that I've built up over the week, is getting slightly early, but allow it to go up into 38. So essentially parlay into the position. So the reason why it can go back up to 38 is because of one of my models again. On the hourly, right? I'm not going to go into too much detail on YouTube. That's what I go through in our RP. But essentially looking for price to get back up into 38% on the premium side of this hourly DR. Okay, which is going to get us in a premium across the board, right? So remember our principles, we want to be inside of a premium to go short, we want to be inside of a discount to go long. So this morning, albeit we were inside of fair value on the hourly, right? On the hourly X levels, so right here, 50%, boom, opportunity for the institutions to step in. We were inside of a discount, deep discount on the hourly at 88%. Okay, I want to be long in a discount, short in a premium. Okay, X levels helps you define your entries. Okay, everything else that we spoke about inside of RP on the live stream this morning in terms of delayed SMT, Asia to under session Judas, yada yada. All right, context for why price was going to run out the high. So with this being a Asia to London session, a Judas leads into a sell. It's a manipulative move. So for me, it's just a case of finding the PDRA to go short on. Now it's a little bit murky up here, right? We've got relative equal highs. And if we have a quick look at this divergence chart on the hourly, we can see that I'm keeping an eye on ES and this high. If ES takes out this high, we've got a double divergence on this high. It's more likely that NQ is going to want to come and revisit this high. So where I'd want to be is subject to ES. Is if ES takes out this high, I'm just going to be looking for NQ to get back up into here, where I'll look for shorts. I'm also mindful that we have this divergence up on this high. Okay, so that's currently what I'm looking for. All right, and if price breaks through 38 aggressively, I'm not going to be a donut and just keep pumping it short. So I'll essentially wait for it to come and clear out essentially all of this. I'll just be done for the day, essentially. All right, I'm only interested in your end session reversal. All right, if we don't get it at the open, I'll be looking for a London close reversal or a mid-morning sell. All right, so at the moment, yes, we have an intermediate term high. So if we hop back to this chart, which is the lower time frame, we can see that we've got an intermediate term high right here, which is over up at 950 on Monday. So London yesterday is this high. That's this high. So this is where you don't want to see, if you're trading on the intermediate term high, you don't want to see it go through, but we have this divergence. So what I'm looking at is ES. If ES takes out this high, right, this candle high, I'll be anticipating NQ to take out this high, which is 62, 64, which is this high. Okay, so I'll essentially be looking for shorts above this candle high if ES takes out that high. Okay, looking to trade back into the to take out this low, and then ultimately this low. Okay, so the reason why I didn't take this short is because of the Judas, and also because of this M5 variation model, which is taught inside RP, right? But what this now sets up is the dole for when price fulfills its objective. So the reason why I didn't want to take this early, right in here, okay, DST up on this high inside of a MAC TS, breaker block, short, run out the lows. The reason why I didn't take this short is because of this. So it didn't meet my risk criteria. All right, it didn't meet my risk. I'm a minimum 3-to-1 R. So although I can see the trade, it didn't meet my risk. So if we move up into these highs and this becomes my objectives, it's now working into where I have a better risk to reward. All right, it becomes more interesting to me. All right. Equally, you could have longed this. Target above this high. That's some other stuff to do this morning, and I've already taken this trade, but you could have taken this trade, right? So if you're inside red pill, I said pay yourself here. Make sure if you took that short, you pay yourself here, because this is exactly where I anticipate it to flip. Right here. Alright. Congrats if you took it. If you took it, trim here. Reason why I didn't take it was because of right here. M5 Cont Vary model. That is right here. Okay, so this then becomes your doll. So I've now got further context for why price is going to run out this low, because this is now an M5 comp vary. Right, so all it is a case of is deploying the entry. So 38% on the hourly is going to take us back up into a premium, right? We're going to be in a premium, so it's fair value. It's neither a premium nor a discount. But 38% is a premium. 21% is a premium. We would have punched out the 15-minute DR, which is this high, again being in a premium. So we'll be in a premium across the board. All right, which is a much higher probability short than trying to short inside of a discount. This is a discount. So I was long this morning inside of a deep, deep discount, taking it back up into low-hanging fruit, 50% of the 15-minute, albeit still inside of a discount. All right, the reason why I took it here, red pillars will know, discretionary vary on the 15, taking it back to 50%. All right. So if we can get back up into 38%, we are now back in a premium across the board. This is a higher probability short. All right. So for me, I've got my eyes around 23,000. Grim, because it's a whole site number. That's the only downside of it. It's a whole site number. It's a whole site. But yeah, that's where I have an interest. Basically, right on the whole site number of 23,000. We're up at 38%. So what I'm probably going to look to do, depending if ES takes out this high, which looks like it wants to, up at 6288, which is this high. So if ES takes out that high, I'll be looking for NQ to take out this high at the open. So basically anywhere between here is where I start to have an interest. Make sense? Are we all on board? Yes. See if I can find some better royalty free, because oh my god, this is shit. Pardon me, sorry. Yes, 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 yes. Si, si, senor. Yeah, it goes on. It goes on comments in the chat. So every single chat you have, you're ranked. So Ainsley will currently be second. So. Yeah, it's a weird little feature they've done. appreciate you being the #1 fan, Rambo. Hold that honor with pride, bro. Sadly, there's oh, is it Jamalski? Sorry, dude. Sorry, there's no medals for it, dude, or anything like that. But you know, maybe in time. Who knows? Jamal, why don't you just change your YouTube name? It's confusing, dude. You got so many going on, so many different names. Yes, take out that high. Yeah. Don't you dare go now, Enki. Don't you dare. You could look at that as DST up on that high. Personally, I want to see it take it out though. On there, 15 seconds. Yeah, it's been an absolute monster week inside RP this week. Well, for me, anyway. It's been a super clean week. Been good. Gold's on a bit of a dump. Don't know if anyone's kept an eye on gold. Gold's now in a position for a sell. So we're right in the territory for a reversal on Dixie. We can still move lower again. We can still have one more stab lower, but we're in the realms for a Dixie pullback. So if Dixie pulls back, obviously the indexes go down. We're currently just chopping between crack gaps at the moment. So it's basically teeing up a short. A long-term short. That's what I'm looking for anyway. I'm not against it swooping this high up at 23.1, but I'd be looking for a retracement on the indexes. At least to get us down into a like a discount on the weekly. All depends what we do on this monthly, to be fair. So that's currently our monthly DR. So I'd like to see some correction in this. And we're just basically pissing around at the highs at the moment. So we've literally just started July, right? So we're currently in the manipulation of this candle. Consolidation. So we can still manipulate higher. But I'd like to see us distribute lower. A correction. A correzione. So don't forget we got got the bond auction today at 1 o'clock, so I just don't go. I wouldn't go near the lunch macro, right? So I personally don't go anywhere near lunch when there's a bond auction. And then you got FOMC minutes today at 2. So this window here between 11 and 2, I just don't trade. Like I just don't go near that window. Whether it's FOMC or FOMC minutes, I just don't go near that. So that's like, it's like a no trade window for me. So we have minutes or FOMC from 11:30 onwards. I don't trade until after the data release. So really the only opportunity left is a New York AM session reversal today. And this low right here, this low is the doll, right? We've had no sweep pre 8:30, right? If we're looking into the principles of schematics, there's been no sweep pre 8:30. We're gonna get the sweep. Okay. The question is whether it's going to take place on that DST that's just taken place here, right? So ES has gone and played catch up on that high. However, on the hourly, you've got a wider divergence. So for me personally, I want to see that high taken before I get interested in a short. It's not to say that it doesn't go from here. Alright, it can do. But it's too wide a risk for me to, that's not how I trade. Alright. But this is essentially your short, this is your low hanging fruit objective. You know, so if you're in here and you're piling in, you got low risk and you're just going to keep piling in until you get up to 38, I can understand it, but I just want to wait. If it goes from here, I'm just going to miss it. not going to force it today. But this is my dollar. This is what I'm seeking, and then the London low. These are my two objectives today. However, I want to see one more pump higher. If it doesn't give it to me, there's no trade. Simple. There's no trade today in the New York. Short shorts in now. Anybody got any questions they want to go over? Anything that they want to go over? Or we're just waiting. Still half an hour. I'm anticipating the short. I'm looking for it to get down here. If it goes from here, it's just one I miss. Okay, no problem. Fine. No problem. But what I will not do is sit here and chase it. Leave it for us, thank you. Come on. Yeah, there's also that as well, yeah. Price is going to run this low. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no maybes. It will run that low. It's just a case of finding the entry. For me, that from here is too wide a risk. It's too wide a stop. And so there's no entry for me. Exactly the same reason why I didn't take this. Because of this low. It doesn't meet my risk. You can see the trade, it just doesn't meet my risk. Next. Is anyone got any good royalty-free playlists? I know I always ask that, but yes, son. Royalty-free beats for cafes and lounges. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got, son. This better have some action in it. Like a guitar or some drums or something. Well, I'm gonna fall asleep. Oh. So basically, if it runs these lows, which is what I'm anticipating it to do, before I get in, there is no trade for me this AM. That is it. So all I'm looking for is to run these lows up. That's all I have an interest in today. So when you have a discretionary when you have an M5 discretionary continuation, this becomes your doll. So you can do it two ways. You can either trade it long, right? That becomes your objective, and you hold runners to the final objective where you're looking to take price to. Or you wait for your PDRA on the high and you short that. That becomes the doll. And hold runners for your final objective. I'm doing the latter. But if this goes, I lose all interest in a short. Yeah, this one's got something going on. Go on, NQ, keep pamping, son. Burn these shorts early. Discretionary vary. If that is left, if that is not revisited when it gets up to 12%, it's an absolute scalper. 12% back down into that BIS. Boom, 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 boom. Where is that? So again, this is another one of my models. If this is left open, you're trading the flip side of it if it leaves this open. It's like a 2-point stop. Bum, 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 bum. me, sorry. Bum, 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 bum. Is that taking out that high now? Still not taking it out. So I now know that I've got this BISI wide open. This is all context for a dump. So you now got double divergence on this high. So again, patience paying off, right? Not forcing it. You know, so this is where, you know, you get your traders who are trying to chase it. You gotta have patience. You gotta have context for why your high is gonna hold. For me, this isn't it. All right, if we're going back to the hourly, if you look at ES, all right, so all of this is hella sus now. Want to be inside of a premium to go short, not a discount. That is, for me, that is not a valid sweep pre 830. Right, so if you were looking at the open, you were going, well, you know, using the principles schematic, look for a discount for continuation. That low is not valid. So for me, this low is like a sus low that's going to get rammed. And this low. Patience, 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 patience. Still not taking out that high. 63. Whole shite number 23,000. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I put it in there now. Oh, blimey, sorry. So these red lines are mitigation. So basically we're going to be up at 21% on the daily, 38% on the hourly. Anywhere in here is where I have an interest, for sure. If it starts ripping through this, I'll just move to the sidelines. What we got up there? Yeah, if we punch through this, there's nothing in here that I particularly want to trade as a short again. So with these divergences up on these highs, I'd be waiting for these to get cleared out. Alright, so essentially I'd be looking for a turtle soup on this high. So 23,120. Up here is where I'd have an interest. That's my last opportunity for shorts today. That'd be a completely different time of day. Whether that's a London close reversal, whether that's on minutes, whether that's a PM session short, whether they just hold us in here going into minutes, minute plate. I just won't be engaging again in here short. I'll be looking for a turtle soup on essentially the holiday high, Thursday high. It's all the way back up here. So I'll mark out my areas of interest. Okay, so at the open we've got mitigation on this high, which is 38%. It would completely H1 discretionary variation. Okay, taking it back up to 38. The negatives to this level is obviously it's a whole side number, 23,000. So if it blows through this high, last opportunity is right here before the old high. That is it. Above that, I'll be up here. These are my levels today for shorts. Ultimately looking to come and take this out. You should all mark this on your charts, by the way. Every single one of you should mark that on your charts. Okay, so if we get one of those anomaly days where it's just a complete bleed up, tomorrow that will be your objective. This low. If this is left open today and we just go on an absolute bleed and I'm just out, this low tomorrow is what you'll be seeking. If you guys are finding this helpful, consider smashing a like or a subscribe and a like. Help a brother out. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You see, patience. Imagine how many people are trying to pile in shorts here. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Patience pays. Are we taking out that high yet? We're finally taking out that high. So we're now in the realms of where I want to be. Alright, but now in the realms of where I want to be. Or starting to be anyway. So essentially there's two opportunities for a short. Ideally you want to be up here. If it blows through this high, you have here. If it goes through that, move to the sidelines. Just take the L. And wait for price to get up to this high. Don't keep trying to force shorts. So a quick look at ES, what ES is up to. So ES is essentially bang up at 62. That's doing what you'd want on ES. Boom, 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 boom. Keep an eye on ES and these OVs. So it's going to be just below 23,000 on ES. Yeah, it didn't say it did indeed. Patience, patience. So that would be your 23,000. All right, this is the first area where it can pull back. Super aggressive though. I want to see something in the way of a trigger. That's exactly why we have patience. Don't be an ES soup. Come on, give us one more pump. One more pump. So I'm just gonna wait for 2040. I've not taken a short inside of there. Too aggressive, no trigger. Take a I'm going to parlay in here, so I'm taking super light size. I'm anticipating higher prices. Super light, minuscule. Wouldn't bother me if it stops me out. That level of risk. I want to see up to 2340 is where I'd want to be. Goes through that undone. It's going to go take out ATH. So this is going to take us all the way back up into the breaker block. This is where I'd want to be. I don't want to see it go through this. Go through this, I'm going to take a small L. And just move on and wait for ATH. Times is now 37. It's not really out of macro here. I want to see it back into the 1 minute discount basically, and then below. If we keep punching higher, I lose interest. Just gonna wait for ATH. Yeah, small L for me. Took my stop there. Small L for me this morning. Gone through where I want it to be. So those anomaly days. Basically just gave back my profit from London today. I'm alright with that. Let's see if there's anything I particularly like here. And there isn't anything beyond this apart from ATH, which is going to take us all the way up to 21.20. So soup on ATH. Boom, 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 boom. Tiny little paper cut. There's nothing. Yes, we're wicking the high list breaker, but it's unmitigated just above it. So again, it's now kind of gone through where I wanted to be, which was inside the 3 OBs at the low of this breaker block. Right, so breaker block OB. So I don't particularly want to go back inside this breaker block. All right, next above that is this unmitigated range, which is up at 80. Which is essentially all up at this 12% on the hourly. However, given how aggressive this is, it's more likely we're going for ATH. But this range here, unmitigated. Crazy on a day with no news, right? A quick look at ES. ES, MWOG. Maybe flirting with all-time highs here. It's dangerous territory. Probably just going to call my day here. Let's take the L. See where we are in the PM. Boom, boom, boom. What time is it now? 9:50. Crazy. Yeah, I'm just going to wait for ES at SPX 6270, which is going to take ES back up into the NWOG, which is it's basically crack gap. So wherever NQ is, when ES gets up into 6270 on SPX. Which is 88. So in terms of crack gap theory, this is where you'd want SPX to hold between 70 and 75. So that's why I want to see ES get back up into 6270. If it goes here, there is literally nothing here to trade. Yeah, there's nothing to frame an entry off. And that's just one of those cases where it's there's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing in there that I would trade, like zero. This isn't even a discretionary vary. There's no SIBI to frame your short off. Again, patience. For me, it's got another leg up. I don't want to trade a minor pullback. 2 seconds. So if the ES can get into 6270, I'll have another look at a short. SPX. There's absolutely nothing for me to trade on that high. No, zero. I think so, yeah. Hey? Yeah. No, he's up at the cottage with Sophie. Bum, 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 bum. So for me to get interested again, yes, it's got to be up at, I keep saying ES, but SPX. It's got to be up at 6270. My God, do I love skills. Oh, yeah, I knew it. Pardon me, sir. Technically it's DST up on the high, right? But yes, ES for me still got to take out that high up at what high is it? Where we are now, it's got to take out 315 at a minimum ES. Get into the M-Wog. Tell him to bring out the lobsters. Come on, ES. Get up into 6270. What? Someone having fun. The buttons. Posh. Posh. No. Walk through the shadow of death. The gangster's power. So this is where patience comes in, guys. You know, the temptation is to try and start forcing trades. Like, oh, we must dump from here, right? We must do. Like, what's your reason? There's absolutely nothing to trade here, like zero. Absolutely nothing. So I'm essentially break even. I'm actually small L at the moment. So my trades today. So London long. Where was I? Was in here. That trade. And then got in super light size in here. And then parlayed in here. Took an L there. So tiny paper cut. So for me, if I'm going to re-engage, I always give myself 2 opportunities in a session. Right? And the second trade, I have to have confirmation, right? If I'm going to take a secondary entry. If I take an L. So I took an L. So for me, there's nothing to trade here that is high probability. That you're not framing anything off anything. There's no model here. There's no extension target here. There's nothing. Zero. Diddly squat. Okay? So this is where I start going into the realms of, okay, well, how can I frame a trade? What do I have? Where can I frame a short? Right, I'm obviously mindful that we're going into the window where we've got minutes at 2 and the bond auction at lunch, which is my no trade window. So I'm also mindful of that. But we're consolidating at higher time frame highs, often where price chops, consolidates, as people try and force a breakout or try and play on a dump. All right, so the only thing you can do when you're going through ATH is standard deviation projections, or we haven't got one here. Or my crack gap theory, which I've developed. So ES is still short. So for me, if I'm going to go short again, ES and SPX has to be back up inside of here. So I'd want to see it reject 50% on the low. I will not be going near a short unless ES gets up there. So there's every chance, and it can do this, where there's absolutely no distinct entry for a short. Right? It just goes off some random location. There is nothing here. But I'd want to frame a short off. So what you can get is a minor pullback for continuation. I don't want to trade a minor pullback. There's nothing in here to frame a short off. There's no context on that high. There's no trade. Alright? You know, but the temptation when you first start is like, oh, we've broken structure. We gotta go. Right, yeah, but, okay, but you can have a break of structure. There's nothing wrong with a break of structure. But what are you framing that high off? Like, you know, what are you basing this off? I mean, you could argue the hourly, 3 OBs, middle civvy, but it's not enough for me. Higher time frame highs. All right. So we're just short of the MWOG as well, which, as we know, they're like magnets for price. So for me, there's just nothing in here. Zero. Conserve your energy. Can argue you got 3 OBs in here as well, but it's just not a level for me that I'd want to frame off. If it goes, it goes. Fair enough. I'm not in it. This is such a good album by Eminem. Anyone remembers it? DST on the low. Two seconds. It's actually a super high risk long here. Stop below 70. Stop below that swing low. 75. NQ. Just tape reading it, not trading it. Super high risk, but you wouldn't want to see this low taken out. Go run out this high. Chances are we just consolidate now until minutes. Take us back to a fair value. There's nothing on there. There's nothing there for me to trade, so it's gonna call it a day in a minute. Wait to see where we are after FOMC. After minutes. So we got there, we got the turtle soup on ATH. Just not where I want it to be. I want it to be higher. SPX into 62.70, so I'd half anticipate we're going to end up in here today. Right, that's going to be it for me today, guys, on YouTube. Small L for me at the open today. So, want to trade a newer M session reversal to come and take out these lows. These are still my objectives. If they're left open today, they'll become my objective tomorrow. Alright, so I'm actually small red at the minute, believe it or not. Oosh. So we got the bond auction at lunch today, and we've also got minutes at 2. And my no trade window is coming up very soon, so I essentially don't trade. We can consolidate and we can manipulate on data. So that's going to be it for me today. Nothing on these highs for me to short. No interest in shorts. ES I'd anticipate on SPX to get up to 6270. That's where I'd want to be, depending on where NQ is at the time for a short. So given that we're just consolidating and we've got minutes and we've got the bond auction later, that's going to be it for me today. All right. So not the usual absolute humdingers, ripskis that we normally do, but you know, we can only trade what we're given, so there's nothing for me here to trade. All right, so I'll catch you all later. If you're inside Red Pill, I'll probably jump on after minutes today. But yeah, that's going to be my New AM session complete. All right, so I'll catch you later. 1 for 1 today for me. A win in London, and then just gave back my profit during New York today. All right, so still massively green on the week. It was an absolute paper cut, so I don't really give a shit. But for me to take another trade, I need better confirmation than it's just taken ATH. That's not enough for me. All right, so ES 6270 is where I'd want to be. All right, take it easy, guys. Have a good ones. Abosh.